Okay, Jessica,
Hey
tell everybody
everyone.
where you're at, where you live.
So I live in Yucaipa, California. We've lived here about 3 years. It's a tiny little town up against the mountain, and we love it here. It's beautiful.
Awesome. Okay, we're ready to see everything. Take your time, show us everything.
Okay, so we are going, let me switch my camera around. We are going to start in the hallway because things are spilling out of the PEZ room. So we'll start here on this side. These two paintings my daughter made for me. This one is by Eddie Santiago. Here's my gold Freddy. We'll come over to this side. I won this at Pezomania. Some more art. This is by one of our young collectors, Emily Davis. And then Penny. And this actually was a birthday present one year from Landon. Then I know all of us have tons and tons of candy packs, and most of us don't know what to do with all of it. Mine's had in Ziploc bags forever. So one day, my husband and I sat there and we were like, what are we supposed to do with all these things? So we went down to Michael's and found these frames and started putting them all in frames. And we made sure that I have room to grow. At the end of the hallway, it's just books and stuff. So this is the door to my PEZ room. So I do have to say sorry. Once I shut this door and I'm in here, my cat is probably going to lose his mind. So if you hear a cat crying, don't worry, he's not hurt. So here is a wide view of my PEZ room. And I'll start over here. So here's my vending machine. My husband and I found this at a swap meet, actually. PEZ artwork. My porcelain advertisement sign, some more artwork. I love, love, love PEZ cellos, but I worry about them being damaged. So my husband and I actually got these cases are for G.I. Joe action figures, but they happen to fit PEZ cellos perfectly. Then on the back wall, autograph PEZ, more artwork, some PEZ pins that I framed, Landon's postcards. Here's a little display case. I just got this sign for my birthday from my mom.
Nice.
Over here are the European 2016 dispensers, the convention dispensers, my yo-yos. This display case is actually for golf balls, but they fit yo-yos perfectly. This wall is kind of like my award wall. I was PEZ Head of the Year in 2017. Some other awards I've won. Some more autograph PEZ. Guns. Some of the harder to find giants. So these hats for the Christmas gathering one year, I decided that everyone who was attending had to make a PEZ Christmas hat and bring it to enter a contest. So that's what these PEZ Christmas hats are from. It was actually a lot of fun. Then on the wall, we have the racks that run down it. And mainly I put it up for hearts, but it's been filled in. All the LOLs, more artwork. These big black racks were the best purchase I've ever made. They come from Amazon. You have to buy this rack separately and then these hooks, but they hold tons and tons and tons of PEZ. These are all my commons. More hearts. I think I'm finally down to when I'm missing like 12 hearts. It's ridiculous how many there are.
That's an accomplishment. And we actually have a bunch of newer people on today. So just for those who don't know, I think there's something like 274 hearts or something if you go with all the variations.
I don't even know if some of them exist. Like I've never seen the ones I'm missing. So it's
so
put
being
back
down
in
to 12
here.
is
Basically, I put the hearts up so I could see what I was missing because otherwise I'd never complete it. But this way, if someone puts them up for sale, I could run in here and see what do I have. Let's see, just commons, lots of commons. I try to keep all my commons on cards because I love the cards. I had to stop collecting these double packs. There's so many of them. And it is really just the same dispenser as these ones, so I stopped. All my VPC stuff.
Whoop.
Up here we have, what was that, Morgan?
Oh, someone, before you go to those, someone asked, for the ones that are on the rack, do you have a system to organize the commons or do they just go on the racks?
So when we first moved here, I had a system. So there was some Christmas and holidays, and then over here was some like sports ones. But now if I get a dispenser loose, it's basically where can it fit, which is what all this is over here. Just like, oh shoot, do I have a spot? Yeah, it can fit in there. It was very organized, but now not so much. My Peter PEZ display. And actually we strapped this display on to this black rack because I didn't have room for it, but I wanted it. So I figured out a way. These are all like convention PEZ and fantasy PEZ and all the little phone strap holder things. I'm only missing one of them. My gold SpongeBob. Let's see. All the tins. Some of the 2-pack boxes. These racks are just European PEZ. This holds all European PEZ also. This, it looks like a mess, but it's an organized mess. This is all lanyards from conventions, buttons and pins and everything like that are on these things. Bracelets from conventions. This is my newest little tin I got. Finally, it was hard to get, but I got it. Bags from conventions, all the PEZ bags they sell everywhere. Some more artwork. I saw, how long have I been collecting? Let's see, I'm gonna say I've been collecting for about 36 years. Basically my whole life. I just turned 38 and I've collected my whole entire life. So in this glass case, in the back, there's thin foot PEZ. And then this whole entire case is just filled like with a lot of licensed stuff that you don't really know what to do with, but you want it. That's basically what this whole case is. One of my favorite pieces. And we're gonna come back this way first. Oh, I'll show you guys this. These are all tubes. Okay. I love, love, love the PEZ bobbleheads. So this top shelf in this case has all my PEZ bobbleheads and some other stuff with it, but mainly bobbleheads.
I love those sleep stacks. I always threaten to steal those from her when I'm visiting her house.
Well, you are the reason why my PEZ room has a camera, so. Thanks to Morgan, I now know that I'm missing one mini PEZ dispenser. Morgan put out these awesome checklists, and I am missing one. And it's kind of weird. It's a Santa without a loop, Don't know how I missed it, but I did. So now I'm on the hunt for that. But this is all the mini PEZ.
I can't believe you'd miss a Christmas one at that. Wow.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I have no idea how I missed it.
You probably gave it away to somebody.
I probably did. It probably went into one of the bingo bags at the gathering. So these cutouts my husband made for me for my birthday a couple years ago. The teddy bears Sandy made, and the gumball machine my husband and I made. And then in this one is basically all cars and trucks, things like that. My clickers are in there. I can see the light reflecting. I hope you guys could see this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll come back. Oh, here's this stuff up here. We'll come back over here.
Before you go to the next, before you go to the next part of the room, someone just asked if you could see, you show off that European stand in the corner again. The one, just the stand. I think people hadn't seen that before, and he just wanted to see it real quick before you moved on.
So they made like two sizes of this. This is the little one. And then there's a bigger one that has one more of these racks on it.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. Sunglasses. This is a vintage rack I found on eBay, I believe. And it holds my carded vintage PEZ. I don't have very many. And then this is all like convention PEZ and the Sweet to Snack Expo guys make it up there. These are all fantasy PEZ that I've made and friends have made. This is one of my, let's see if I can zoom in for you guys, all-time favorite pieces, Easter advertisement. It's two-sided, but I absolutely love that piece. This is actually my husband's Star Wars display, but I stole it from him because he didn't have room in his man cave. Princess Leia is signed by Carrie Fisher. And then, hold on, let me go back down. Oh, it won't let me zoom out. Well, it won't let me zoom out.
Maybe try flipping the camera and flipping it back or something.
No, flip it towards like you, and then like hit the little button.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Hit the little button again, and maybe they'll fix it. Hi. There you go.
Oh, is that better?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. I won't zoom in again.
Yeah, just walk closer.
Okay, and then more signed Star Wars stuff. This is all wands, but I took over it. So my most favorite common dispensers are the crystals. So put all my crystals together. Down here you get into like convention dispensers and stuff like that. Star Wars, some more artwork. These are all of the gathering dispensers. This year would have been our eighth gathering. Eighth gathering. Mm-hmm. Sadly, I had to cancel. I waited until the very last minute to cancel, hoping that things would change, but they didn't. Fantasy PEZ. Okay, then Barkies. So up until this past January, I had every Barkie ever made, but I decided to call it quits on the Barkies. But I still love them. So I won't sell what I have. I am just not adding any more to it. And then in this case, we get all the baseball ones, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Funky Faces, and Misfits. And then before I go into the vintage, I'll show you guys the trucks, my cookie jar, my candy holder, but I put PEZ shoes in it. Okay, Then on to vintage. So these are basically the superheroes and the humans. My porcelain hinge ones are right there, which if you own the porcelain hinge box PEZ, you need to order shoes from Larry Mason because he saved all mine from breaking. I don't know how many times they have fallen. I can't believe they didn't break, but he makes shoes for them and it's awesome. All my vintage costumes. And then down here is just more licensed stuff. The Zero Minis are down there. This whole bottom row is just like licensed stuff, some watches, the bendies. And up here we get cartoon guys. The whistles and animals. These ones are my favorite dispensers, so they get their own little display.
Someone asked with the soup that when you on the superheroes asked why the vintage Spider-Man is sideways, and is it because it has a special stem?
Okay,
but I think
so the yellow stem Spider-Man that is sideways, he is a no web Spider-Man. On the back half of his head, there's no webs on him. He's really hard to find. All your Spider-Man that you're going to find usually in the wild have webs on both halves of their head, but he, I don't know if you guys could see that. On his back half, he has no webs. So I put him sideways in there so we could all see. The front half has webs and the back doesn't. And then the witches are sideways in here because the witches have the printed stems on them. They're really cool. Okay, chicken eggs. Oh, the chicken eggs. I love them. And I think I'm only missing one, and it's the white shelled one. In Laspina's book, there's a green, like an army green one, but I don't know if that one's real or not. Everyone I've asked about it has never even seen it, so I'm just going to say I'm missing the white shelled one. It's easier on my mind that way. Out of all vintage PEZ, Halloween is my favorite. I almost have all of the witches. That's what I've been going after lately. Filling them in as I can. Down here's Christmas and a bunch of Laura Teasley's work. She does amazing work. Then up here are pals. What type of stands? So my stands came from Dick Mendelson, which he does not make them anymore. Showtime displays, but he unfortunately does not make them anymore. But while he was still in business, that's when I bought all of mine. My pals, some circus ones. Disney, so many Disney. Disney overflowed to down here.
And what about the cases, Jessica? Where do you get the cases at?
Oh, these are from IKEA. All of those come from IKEA. I think they used to be like $50 each. I think they're like $70 each now. They raised the price on them, but they're from IKEA. And then we put the lights in them. So those are just LED lights. We bought them from Home Depot. I think a pack of 2 is like $12 or something. They run on AAA batteries. But yeah, so there's that view. Then my PEZ Christmas tree has all the PEZ ornaments on it. Up here we have lunch boxes and more box sets, the blow up candy pack, and then the start of the Funko Pop PEZ. So I'm lucky enough that I have all of the Funko Pop PEZ. So the ones that are loose in the stands, they are like pretty common ones. They didn't have like a special sticker on them or anything. So I opened them. But the ones in the boxes all have some type of special sticker on them or something. The new Baby Yoda. I don't care what his real name is. He'll always be Baby Yoda.
His name's Kevin, according to Chris.
All my box sets and some fantasy PEZ. So in the PEZ world, my nickname is Vampezer. So for swag one year, I made a vampire PEZ to hand out to everyone. Then in this thing, the dreaded Hello Kitties. Hello Kitty gets her own display because there's tons and tons of them. Behind the giant teddy bear is just like price guides and PEZ books and stuff like that. I'm going this way. Up here, we just have more commons, more beautiful artwork. And then in here is my Hall of Giants. So I have kind of sort of given up on buying giants. I will only buy them now if they're $10 or under. And the only reason why is because I have officially ran out of room for giants. But there's still more, tons and tons more of them. So we have lots of sports ones. These guys. And then just a mixture of all the rest of them. The actual Funko Pops that are PEZ related. Fantasy PEZ, some more tins. And so at the Christmas gathering, one of the things we do is we play like a PEZ white elephant game. And this was one of the gifts that I won one year. And I think that's it. I don't think I missed anything.
You had a couple questions come in, if you want to handle
Okay.
those. What's the first dispenser you remember getting?
Oh, I don't remember the first actual dispenser I got. I'm sure it was probably Christmas or Easter because that's how I started collecting. They'd be in my Easter baskets or in my stockings. And I would just keep them instead of eating the candy and destroying them. I'd set them on my bookshelves and dressers. I could remember my first vintage PEZ though. My very first vintage PEZ came from a boyfriend's dad. And it was that gray-headed Dumbo. That was my very first vintage.
Nice. And then how many conventions have you been to?
Too many to count.
Yeah.
I've been to lots and lots of them. I can't even begin to tell you how many. I've been to tons of them.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Do you
I try to go to all of them, so.
Do you have insurance on the collection?
Yes, I do. I have a completely separate collectibles insurance on my collection.
Yes. One of the ideas I have for a future VPC event is to have an insurance specialist talk to us about insuring collections. So
that would be a good idea.
I think so too. And what about earthquakes? What are you doing to protect yourself from earthquakes and wildfires while we're at it?
Earthquakes, there's not a whole lot you could do. You just kind of hope for the best. You don't know when they're coming. There's no warning. You can't pack up for them. You just kind of sit there and think, oh God, don't break anything. That's basically how you survive an earthquake. Now, wildfires, it's scary. We just survived a big one. And honestly, what I did was nothing. I wasn't even here. I was thousands of miles away when it came, and my house had to be evacuated, and my 18-year-old son was by himself, and our friends Sonia and Emily came to help him evacuate, and they were like, we'll grab PEZ, and I was like, nope, get Matthew, get the animals, and get out of the house, leave all the PEZ. So I told them to leave everything, because when it all boils down to it, what matters most is your family, your friends, and your animals. And I left all PEZ here to burn. Thankfully, it didn't. The fire got maybe 2 blocks away from my house. So I was very lucky, but it was scary. And I thought I was going to lose everything. But luckily, my PEZ insurance covers fires. So
Nice.
that helped in my decision of screw it, leave it all. When things did calm down though, and my mom was allowed to come into the neighborhood, I had her grab one PEZ dispenser. I told her, Mom, go get the Mary Poppins. Only her, leave the rest. Take her with you. So
my favorite story about you and your PEZ collection is when you bought that house you're living in now, how you told Juan how you decided that this was going to be the PEZ room.
It wouldn't fit in any other room. So we've only lived here 3 years. And before that, 98% of my collection was packed in storage boxes and put in our garage in our other house. I didn't have room in that house to display anything. So when we came to this house, well, we saw 32 houses before we decided to buy this one. And what sold us was this room. This room is huge. It's supposed to be the master bedroom. But what do you do in your bedrooms usually? You don't usually hang out in them, right? You sleep in them. So why do we need such a big place to sleep in? We don't. But we need a big place to show off all the PEZ. So Juan, with a little hesitation, agreed with me. He's glad he did now, but the master bedroom in our house is my PEZ room. But he also has his own man cave, which is the garage. So it works out good.
Mm-hmm. He gets to live outside.
He does live outside. It's fine. He likes it.
Well, thank you, Jessica. For anyone who doesn't know Jessica, she's on Facebook. You can reach out to her if you have more questions. If you have questions about her collection, about her collecting, you want to get to know her better. She also she's a moderator on PEZ community page. She's the administrator for PEZ auction, and she runs the Christmas PEZ gathering. So if you want to know any more about any of those things, reach out to Jessica and get to know.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
Of course.
Yeah, thanks for showing it off.